This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the Crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Good morning. Good morning. Right back like we never left. Another Saturday morning with the W Show, Kansas City. If you're first time checking this out, we appreciate you making us a part of your Saturday morning. Good morning.
Good morning. What's going on?
Man, a lot, really. Football season is upon us. College football, week 0 happened last week. It's week 1, as you mentioned while we were talking before the show. Clemson, Georgia plays today. We may have some playoff baseball in Kansas City. I'm excited, man. It's a good week for sports. Most definitely.
It is a great week for sports. We got fantasy drafts going on, dynasty drafts going on, as you can see what is going on right here. Some people are putting some bids in for CMC. I see $52 for CMC. This is outrageous.
I think he's like, I was reading something earlier this week about just the draft thing, fantasy draft, and I think CMC, Christian McCaffrey, if you guys don't know, plays for the 49ers. He's like the number 1 guy to go get.
Yeah, and I have him in my dynasty league that I won last year.
Mm-hmm.
I got CMC, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor.
It's like
overkill. Saquon Barkley. Hey man,
did you win?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's because you had to.
I won. No, well, I didn't have Saquon last year. I just had Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, and CMC.
Okay.
But it's a lot of maneuvering, man. It's hard work being a
being a team owner.
Listen, I have like 20 leagues that I'm in. I won 2, took third in another one. The other one's just kind of restarting. So, but hey man, it's fun. I suggest that everybody gets involved. It keeps you engaged in the games.
Mm-hmm.
Puts a little monetary value on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I play a little bit more than for $20.
Okay.
But
okay.
Hey, it keeps the competitive spirit going if you were an athlete in the day and you can't be athletic today.
Oh, so you're admitting that you can't.
Listen. All right. My daughter was running with me the other day. I was like, whoo, you got me, girl. She's 6.
You mentioned being a general manager of a team. We'll dive into Brett Veach. He knows a little bit about that.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, of course he does. Chiefs fans will beg to differ.
They will.
Cut down day happened earlier this week. We'll dive into the Chiefs moves, who they let go, who they kept. We'll talk about that. Plus, we'll talk about LeBron James. He says, Bronny, he said, Bronny, can I call him dad?
He's got
to in the workplace. We'll dive into that. And Deion Sanders, he uses NIL partnership to fund Colorado players' children. Kudos to them. We'll dive into that. Plus, we'll have our sneakers of the week coming up in about 30 minutes. Let's get to our headlines.
And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on the W with Walls and the Crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
All right, NFL cutdown day happened on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time, so all teams had to, cut their roster down to a 53-man team. One significant cut by the Chiefs was wide receiver Kadarius Toney. I talked to Chiefs general manager Brett Veach earlier this week. Let's see what he had to say about Kadarius Toney.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't think we're sitting here going for a third straight Super Bowl had we not made that trade. So from that standpoint, do it all over again in a heartbeat. I think it's always disappointing when a player's tenure comes to an end in that situation, meaning you'll have players that the age catches up to them. You'll have players where maybe it's obviously a really serious injury. And then you'll have players that you move on from where the talent just wasn't there. So I think when you have to move on from a player, and the full product or the finished product or untapping all that talent wasn't realized, there's a disappointment. And, I think it goes both ways. I'm certainly sure that, there would be things that he would do different in regards to just some of the off-season stuff and taking care of the body. But again, I think it's a process. He's a really smart kid, and I do think he'll figure it out. And again, I think he'll end up making plays for a team down the road here. But as far as our interaction and working with the kid, he was actually a lot of fun to be around, and just hope for the kid that he can get a little good luck on his side and stay healthy.
He told us he would greatly trade for him again.
You sit on a book of lies, Britt. He's a smart kid. Kadarius, have you heard this man speak?
I mean, here's the thing about Kadarius Toney.
He's a smart
and I've had a few conversations with Kadarius.
Civil?
I think, of course, he's a good dude, man. He's very athletic. I think sometimes people's personality and persona that they portray, to whether it be media or to fans, is totally different from who they really are.
I got you.
And just the conversations that we've had, I mean, he knows exactly what took place. He knows about the injuries and Brevish talked about it, and we didn't have that clip, but he talked about it as well when he was asked about Kadarius. He's like, man, sometimes injuries can, be like a happenstance, something that just happens. And then injuries sometimes can be something that you can prevent, like going through some preventative stuff in the offseason. He talked about Kadarius' offseason. He said maybe he needs to do a little something different, to make sure that he's healthy come, to into training camp and have the first week of the season.
Yeah. I think in reality he's a bust. A lot
think
of teams,
so?
Oh, yes. A lot of fans were raving on Kadarius Toney when he became a member of the Kansas City Chiefs, but you guys do this with every player that comes in.
No way.
You guys were raving about Hollywood, Brown or whatever, and I'm like, okay, well, let's look at logic. The team that he was drafted by traded him, and the team that traded for him, he's not there anymore.
Okay.
And he's had injuries. He's not consistently on the field. He hasn't lived up to his first round. He was a first round pick or whatever. And now, oh, yeah, we got Marcus Hollywood. We're going to be this. We're going to be this. No. And now he's hurt. He's not going to play week 1. Probably won't play until week 3. Okay. And let's see how productive he is.
I think the outlier on those small, like you look at the small receivers in the league, right? Mm-hmm. Tyreek Hill being probably number 1 small wide receiver in the league. If you're not a big body receiver, I think those injuries kind of hover over your head, right? Yep. And you're put under a microscope a little bit more than you would be, let's say, a Devontae Adams, or let's say just a Jamar Chase, or somebly that is a bigger body, like over 6 foot. Justin Jefferson, really, he's a CeeDee Lamb's not big at all.
Well, are you talking about in stature?
I'm talking about like in height. I'm talking about in height. Because the smaller guys, under 6 foot receivers have that, and I should just put that out there. The under 6 foot receivers still have that. Oh, he's a small dude, or he just doesn't have it.
Well, the statistic shows that a player who trains specifically for the 40-yard dash and does well in the 40-yard dash, like Xavier Howard or Worthy, are more susceptible to hamstring injuries. So, I mean, that's just the thing. And if you look at it, some of these players, hamstring injuries, what's the guy's? I just heard about him today. But there's certain players out there that consistently have injuries based on just their body and their fat. Devontae Parker was one of them. We're seeing this with Devin A-Chain from Miami. Another player's out. Oh, man. And he has some injuries. I'm losing a blank right now because I'm doing 2 things at one time. But when you're a fast twitch guy and speed is your thing, you have to stay healthy. Kadarius Toney is one of those guys, and if he loses his speed, he loses his ability to be on the field. Devontae Adams is not a fast guy, but he's a big guy.
He's fast enough.
He's fast enough.
He's fast enough.
Catch.
You think you go at him?
No.
But you get guys that are smaller. And I see what you're saying. If you're listening to us 100.1 FM, remember you can interact with us on YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter Live, all the lives, and let us know your thoughts on any of the topics that we talk about. But Darius on YouTube Live, he said Tyreek was an anomaly. He was a running back turned wide out, but still a smaller running back. Like if you compare him to just throwing a running back out there, Ezekiel Elliott, or a guy like throw another running back out there,
Josh Jacobs.
Tyreek's still smaller than those guys.
Yeah,
so he'd be a smaller dude, but I think his stature is more of a bigger guy, compared to an example. You talk about Xavier Worthy or Hollywood Brown, or even, I mean, look at Philly wide receiver.
AJ Brown, Devontae
Smith. Those guys are smaller dudes. So I feel like, to get back to the point of Kadarius Toney, I think he just has that injury bug kind of lingering over his head. And he's still young too.
Yeah, he is. But I think he has some locker room problems. He has some issues going on with the Giants, which is not a well-run team. But
in Kansas City, he didn't have that.
Yes, he did.
Not in the locker room, he didn't.
Not in the locker room, but he had made some statements.
That's the thing that gets me too. Is like people. That's another. The people read into what people put on social media.
I just got Patrick Mahomes.
People read into what people put on social media and what they say. Like that, that's their personality. And I don't feel like that's it.
So you're defending Kadarius?
No, I'm not defending him at all. Shit, you can speak freely on social, but your game got to back it up. The Chiefs would not have won a second Super Bowl had it not been for Kadarius Toney.
And among other things, but I don't think that one play determines that. I think
I
don't think that one play determines that. I think it was great, but I think other things lead up to it or whatever. But the amount of, they didn't spend a lot of money on him. They got him cheap because of his injuries, because of whatever situations that were projecting in media of his attitude in the locker room, outside the locker room, his work
from the Giants
or whatever from the Giants.
Okay.
But then that seemed to precede him here in Kansas City. There wasn't, I mean, I didn't hear too much. I didn't hear any negative, but there was some issues to where he didn't play in last year's Super Bowl. And there were some comments that he made and they just kind of brushed it off. I was surprised that he was even on the team during training camp. People thought he was going to be gone because he wasn't productive. He didn't show up on the field, as did he not do with the Giants. And
let me ask you this, and I'll ask our listeners and viewers the same question. Would you rather have a guy that doesn't show up during the regular season and guarantees to perform well in the postseason and help you win a championship?
No.
Or would you have a guy that shows up in regular season, i.e. Dak Prescott, and doesn't show up in postseason?
No.
Which one?
If I pay you.
No. There's either or.
No.
Either or.
No, you need to show up every game.
He dancing around my question.
No, I'm not dancing around because you're asking like, I think I just won. Yeah, sorry. If I pay you for a season, I don't like, oh man, I didn't show up to work, but hey, when that project was due, I nailed it and hit that account and got this. And no, I pay you for 18 games, right? Plus playoffs. You get a check. You need to show up every game. You don't get a check to show up for one play.
Okay.
You don't.
All right.
You don't.
Okay.
Listen, hey, my employee, 365 days, I need you to give me all my money just for that one day.
If you perform well, and if it's something that's critical to your job and you need to perform, and they need you, they're like, oh, whatever we pay him per year is worth it because he showed up for that day that we really needed him.
Listen,
all other 364 days in a year could be trash, but your one day.
It worked out that way. I really do. I would put all my efforts into that 24 hours to get that check, but that's not how the world goes. And I'm not paying a guy just to show up for one play. I'm not doing
Cowboys would beg to differ. They love to have a trashy Dak Prescott just to get them to the postseason and go have him be great during postseason.
Everything's not on Dak Prescott though. Did he make some?
Or let's put it as a team. We can say a team.
Okay, listen. I think that just has to. You know what? We getting into the Cowboys now, which is just listen. I don't want to be that guy. Listen, I'm a 49er fan. Listen, we appreciate the blunders. We appreciate you guys not having good clock management. We appreciate you losing to Green Bay. We thought it was going to be a revenge year or whatever. But listen, some people have it and some people don't. But you still get a check. And if your check is for 20 games, then you need to play to the best of your ability for 20 games.
All right. LeBron James says that Bronny cannot call him dad while they're at the workplace. Let's hear from LeBron.
Have you thought through, not relationship, because you always be his dad, he'll always be his son, but what's your working relationship? Is he going to call you dad at practice in the locker room?
No, we already laid that. No, he can't. We already laid that down. He cannot call me dad in the workplace. All right. Once we leave out of the private facility and the gates close, I could be dad again. In the car if we ride together. At home, I could be dad. No, he got to call me like 2-3 or Bron. Okay. Or, GOAT if he wants to. That's up to him. I mean, it's up to him. But it's easy for me. It's easy for me because I've been calling him Bronny for so long. Yeah. It's not like I've been calling, hey son. So it's easy for me. It's gonna be the adjustment for him. But we cannot be running down the court and he'd be like, Dad, push the ball up, Dad, I'm open, Dad, come on. I'm like, no.
First of all, no grown man at 6'8", 6'9" should be crossing his legs like that. Secondly, I just have a feeling that Bronny's going to be running down the court. Pop, switch on defense. He's busting your butt.
Yeah, I can only imagine, man. Like in all seriousness, like of having your kid on your team, like, and you being the star, and people respecting you, and that's kind of a small thing of figuring out, all right, what do I call him, right? But the other thing is the pressure that's put on Bronny because of who his dad is. There's a lot of pressure on LeBron too, because LeBron's got to. And let me ask you this: do you defend Bronny from? Because you can't. He's a grown man now. Because he's put in a grown man situation, not in college anymore. He's on a professional team. So do you try to shield him as you did prior to him being in the NBA?
You can't.
Okay.
You can't. This is a grown man league, and he's going to have to live up to it. There's a lot of pressure on him. He's the only one. First person drafted, I want to say first, drafted in the second round with a guaranteed contract, whatever.
Yeah.
And not a two-way contract at that.
Of course.
First player with all these stipulations, whatever, as if he basically strong-armed his way to playing with the Lakers. They said, hey, if we don't go to the Lakers, or I think it was possibly Phoenix, he was going to go overseas and accept more money or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, don't use your leverage to help your son out, because now you put that added weight and pressure on him. So they kind of created this debacle on their own or whatever. I mean, I hope he has a good year. Everybody thinks that I'm hating on Bronny or whatever, hating on LeBron. But I just feel that LeBron does. Well, it's my opinion. I just believe that LeBron sets himself up for scrutiny or whatever when he shouldn't have to,
Mm-hmm.
Now all the pressure's on his son. And just because you can have your dream wish to play with your son or whatever, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair to another guy who could have got that roster spot. And clearly from the G League, it doesn't look like he's ready. And so, I mean, what if he plays horribly and his confidence is shot?
That's what I said.
And now as a Laker fan, a true Laker fan, I have to deal with this. Like, you got one championship ring in the bubble and all these players that got traded, and I blame Magic Johnson. We gave up Lonzo Ball. Okay, that ended up how it is. We gave up Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart, Ivan Zabaka, who just signed 3 years with the Clippers, Julius Randle. Think about if we would have waited a year to get Anthony Davis and had some of these players. Coldest team ever.
Yeah. I think LeBron and Bronny are definitely, I mean, history's been made, right? Like, first to ever do it. I think that was more for LeBron than it was for Bronny. However, and I don't want to go to backtrack in conversations that we've already had regarding Bronny being in the league, but I think LeBron was joking about it, but in all seriousness, I mean, what does he call him? Does he, hey, Dad, pass me the rock?
Old man. Old man, get off that ball. Old man, play some defense. Old man, call out the switch.
Yeah, I think he's gonna call him dad. I mean, you got what else? You ain't gonna say, hey, 2-3, 2-3.
Wait a minute. Do you think he's gonna get some playing time? That he even had an opportunity to call him dad?
Yeah, that's the thing too.
Yeah,
I think at some point they're gonna put him in the game with LeBron.
So, what if they do this? This is something that I think they should do. What if, like in the first regular season game, whatever, when it counts, what if they have that moment where Bronny comes in and substitute out his pops? And then after that, he comes in, shoots some free throws or whatever, or vice versa.
You substituting Bronny for Brian?
And then you send him down to the G League just to have that iconic moment that they played on the court together or so, or, they passed the ball or whatever. And then you send him down to the G League. Kind of like, little marketing buzz, whatever.
I mean, yeah, that's probably the plan. You've got to have them on the court at some point together.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Whether it be him pass the ball and you could put him a trash team. I mean, I haven't seen the Lakers' schedule this year, but I mean, they've got some teams that they can, on paper, they're supposed to beat.
I mean, on paper,
but you got to play defense too.
Yeah, on paper as a team, they can beat.
Yeah.
On paper, can Bronny play? I don't think he can.
We'll see. All right. Deion Sanders uses NIL partnership to fund future Colorado players' children. So Deion Sanders has made another, you could say, powerful impact on his players' lives in partnership with Colorado Buffaloes NIL Collective, the 5430 Alliance, and Elevation Credit Union. And Deion Sanders has helped open bank accounts for children of 8 players on his football team. So this initiative reflects Sanders' commitment to his players. Let's see what Deion had to say.
Travis J, Gant, Dog, Chidozi, they Zell, Gus. Anybody else got anything on the way? I want y'all to know, ain't like you in trouble. Now, you ain't done nothing wrong. Matter of fact, you did something right. And a child is not a mistake. A child is an opportunity to mature you, grow you, advance you, and give you some skills that you guys gonna come? All right. Bring it up here. Y'all know how I am about fathering, and I would not hire a coach unless he's a great father. I don't hire a coach that's a deadbeat. I don't hire a coach that's not taking care of his responsibilities. I would never hire a man that he say he's gonna look after y'all, but he won't look after his. That don't make sense to me. We was blessed. I mean, truly blessed. And this is unbelievable. 5430 Alliance. They have something to tell you that we've been working on. And I don't know if some of you seen the tweet I put out last week. I said I need to partner with a bank.
Coach Prime put out that call, and Elevation's Credit Union responded. Coach Prime asked us to step up and to join him today in opening up accounts for the children of some of the student athletes that he just appreciates so much. Today we're starting you all out with $2,121 because that Coach
We're gonna go beyond this. Okay.
That's pretty dope, man. You start your players out with $2,121 for their kids, opening them up an account. Support your kids, man. That's what it's about. You got to support your kids, and it's teaching them as young men to become fathers.
So, as we talked about last week on the show about how University of Howard trying to get private equity funds.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've seen that the NFL just made a deal a few days later to where they can allow private equity to come in for the NFL, and Florida State tried to do this, and then how these NIL deals are going. This is the wild, wild west. It's good to have some structure like that. It's good to put that in place to help, solidify that your children are taken care of financially or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always an advocate for if you go to a college, right, they have different programs, the business hall, the communication hall or whatever.
Yeah.
As an internship, they should have people who are business majors, finance majors, whatever, collectively get with these players that are making some type of money, that they get something, and kind of help them mold to where they can take care of their finances. Love what Coach Prime is doing. He is setting, the standard, for how you're supposed to be as a coach. You're just not a coach. You're a mentor. You're a father figure. You're a male role model in these kids' lives, either for 1 year or 4 years. It's still an impression that they will take with them for the rest of their lives. But I think what they need to do is, instead of opening an account and saying, hey, here, this is what we're doing, show them how this money will work for them. Show them how to invest this money, because put $2,000 in the kid's bank account, 4% interest rate over 4 years, it accumulates and becomes, $10,000, $12,000, whatever it accumulates to or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then once it's accessible to him or his kids and they leave, what do you do with it? If you don't have the mindset to take care of your money, to manage your money or whatever, then you're just giving somebody $10,000 in the future just to go blow it later.
I agree. 100%. And you look at just the thought of it from Coach Prime, right?
Mm-hmm.
From Deion. No other coaches think like you get all these other coaches who are thinking about wins, right? Like they're thinking about the you look at the NIL deals that these guys are doing, it's to bring in players. Why? Because it equates to wins.
Right.
Deion is bringing in not only NIL deals. I mean, we saw him just backtrack on just last year and what he did. You can go back to Jackson State, getting kids cars, getting kids like so much. What he could have used his fame to just support his kids.
Right. Yeah.
But he's supporting 90 other young men. And it's paying off. And you saw the one guy who waited till they are sat down. He's like, you got in trouble. We want to make sure we do something for you. He's like, oh yeah, I got one coming.
Mm-hmm.
He was late. He's like, yeah, it's all right. And he didn't even front him out in that situation either. But you gotta look at this too. He's helping these guys become productive men in society.
Yeah.
Meaning, and the portion of that is taking care of your kids, supporting your kids.
Teaching them not to have kids so young though too. I mean, like you said, it's not a mistake. It's something that happens. Whatever.
Of course.
Teach them to be responsible. I mean, I think he needs to have Brittany Reiner come in again because he said he gave $1 billion worth of advice. Saying how with all this social media. Think about if we were in college right now, and social media was out there.
Thought about that the other day,
and we had a name for ourselves, and our DMs are blowing up. Whatever.
It's crazy.
What kind of situation will we be in right now?
It's crazy. It's a crazy situation. A crazy situation. I'll tell you another crazy situation. Steph Curry. He joins LeBron James, Kevin Durant in the $500 million NBA club. People are like, hey, what does that mean? Well, Steph Curry's just signed a 1-year, $62 million extension on Thursday, keeping him with Golden State through 2026 and 2027 season. And it raises him to that more than $500 million made in an NBA contracts. So Curry has earned $347,844,681 in 15 seasons, and now is going to have an additional $178 million over the next 3 seasons. So that makes him $526 million richer.
If I win this lottery or not, I'll be richer than Steph Curry. Let's put that out there.
$500 million.
When I win this lottery tonight, I will be richer than Steph Curry. The game is changing. Anthony Edwards will probably meet that here in a couple of next years.
Nah, man.
You don't think Anthony Edwards is going to get a contract like that?
I'm talking just over his. We're talking $500 million made is a lot of money.
Right. But I'm saying you don't think Anthony Edwards will get like 4 years, $300 million. Well, what was the contract that Jaylen Brown got? He got $300 million, right?
Something close to that, yeah.
5-6 years, $300 million. So Anthony Edwards or Jaylen Brown? Jaylen Brown is the second fiddle.
Yeah.
Didn't play like the second fiddle to Jason Tatum. Anthony Edwards is that guy in Minnesota. You don't think they're going to give him that money to stay in Minnesota? Now, I believe that Steph Curry got this extension because of these viral, little blogs.
Jaylen Brown signed a 5-year, $285 million deal.
Yeah, I think Anthony Edwards. But, there's rumors, that LeBron wants to play with, Steph or whatever. And I guess there was some, I don't know if this is real or not. There was some like trade proposal or whatever to have them play together.
Yeah.
I think they took those rumors seriously and was like, hey, man, sign this contract. And we're going to give you extra, a couple million, whatever.
Of course.
Yeah. But that's just the way the NBA is going. Money's going up. Players are going to get more money. Like I said, Anthony Edwards, there's some other players out there that can probably get that. John Morant, if he could put the guns down, probably get up to that.
Yeah, Ja could get it. Most definitely.
Yeah, so.
You think about just the amount of money that's been made currently, like within the last 15, we can just throw 15 years because that's the number that we're talking about with Steph. Think about if this amount of money was thrown around when Michael Jordan was coming in his prime. I think $1 billion wouldn't have been.
Just pass over a blank check.
Yeah, you have to.
Kobe, Shaq was in today's world, dominating. Like, hey, I'm a free agent. What do you want? It's like, here's a blank check, Shaq. Just,
On that note, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we're going to dive into NFL. They've placed a lot of restrictions on Tom Brady's Fox broadcasting access because of pending Raiders ownership stake. We'll be right back. This is the W Show.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC WeSpin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC WeSpin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC WeSpin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC WeSpin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Your loved ones matter the most. Take the burden away by pre-planning personal arrangements that fit you and your family perfectly. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services will be here to comfort your family and take special requests. Plan and feel confident your loved ones will be less stressed and can console each other in their time of need. We will be here when you need us at 816-231-GATE or visit kcgoldengate.com. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasonings to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors. Classic, sweet, mild, and hot. Find it at your local grocer, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com to purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show, use hashtag talk about it, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want. You can tweet us or X us, message us, send us your topic, and we'll talk about it. All right, Tom Brady and the NFL are at odds right now.
Yeah.
The NFL is placing restrictions on Tom Brady's broadcasting access because of pending Raiders ownership stake. So Tom Brady's pending bid to become part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders has triggered restrictions on his access to teams around the NFL as part of his role at Fox Sports broadcaster. And he's not permitted to attend in-person online broadcast production meetings and may not have access to team facilities, players, or coaches. Fox staff is they're not subject to these limitations.
His contract with Fox should be voided, and he should just 100% focus on becoming a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. And I see why he has these restrictions. If you're about to own a team to where you have access to financials and your view of what you want the team to look like and inside information on what players hurt, any information, but then you can walk through a different locker room and get that same information, or go to a production meeting and you can see that this player is irritated, and then you know that your player has an injury that nobody knows about, and you really don't have to disclose it unless it comes up in a physical or whatever. I'm using that information.
Yeah, go get him. He ain't happy over here.
When you sent me the notes and I read that, and then I read, the restrictions, whatever, I was thinking about when you go to the Chiefs camp. I'm like, okay, what player's doing what? And he was like, yo, Jerick McKinnon is getting a lot of play doing a red zone. You know what I did? I picked up Jerick McKinnon. When you told me about Isaiah Pacheco, I was really trying to get Isaiah Pacheco.
And this is public information, guys. I don't disclose anything that, is questionable.
But if you have any information in any other team from any other city or whatever, listen, I will leave my phone number, and I need that because, I'm drafting right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't walk into another facility and peep what the opposition's doing. It's a Spygate 101. Like, come on.
And Tom Brady clearly has more access than I have. He also must abide by the league's constitution and bylaws that prohibits public criticism of officials and other clubs, but is also allowed to he's able to broadcast Raiders games. This is, to me, I agree. He should put his sole focus on becoming an NFL team owner, because he can, right? Like, because he's financially able to do that. I think this Fox thing is, I don't want to say just a something where he's able to pass time, so he doesn't have to sit at home and watch games. He could easily broadcast on his own, right, from home.
10 years, $375 million.
Yeah, that'll do it too. But I mean, if it's going to be all these restrictions, so now he's just looking at what he sees and not any insight. And thing too, Fox will be able to feed him all this information. This is what we saw. He can go ask them, tell them what to look for, things like that. So, I mean, all is not lost, but for them to place these kind of restrictions on them, I feel like NFL is kind of doing too much.
No, I think you
don't think so?
No, I think, well, listen to this. I mean, come on. You walk into the opposition or whatever, you're about to be the minority order of the Las Vegas Raiders, and then you have information about certain players that can keep you away, or in the production meetings, whatever. For instance, who do you feel like you're going to draft next week? We're eyeing this player, whatever. We think we need this position, whatever.
So you think Tom Brady needs to walk through a locker room to find out that information?
No,
Tom Brady.
I think that information can become available to him. But I think that if you're part of a production meeting and you're writing down notes on what to say and what you can't say, because then, the team will tell you, hey, this is what we're doing, but don't say this, whatever. We don't want this to be public knowledge. Do it. This is what you made, whatever, on how you televise this, right? If Tom Brady knows this and he has some stake in the Las Vegas Raiders, and he's like, okay, we're thinking about taking Malik Neighbors at 10, right? I'm going to transition if I want Malik Neighbors, whatever, and I'm going to use that information to leverage. He needs to walk away. And I think they're mad and they're investigating the deal that he got from Mark Davis.
That's what they're mad
about. He bought in real cheap. And he's part owner with Mark Davis's other team, I think Las Vegas Aces, and another team or whatever. So this is insider trader information.
It can be viewed as that. You know what those are? Rich people problems.
Rich people problems, man. Like, listen, give me some information. I'll put my $5 in.
It was another incredible week of history making for sluggers Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. Man, these guys it's a modern day Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire.
Right.
It really is. I mean, you think about Yankee superstar Aaron Judge. He's pursuing the 60 home run mark. He entered Friday with 51 home runs on the season with 28 games remaining. Remember, guys, don't forget this, that he had 62 home runs back in, what was it, 2022?
21-20, yeah.
Yep, 22. So he's trying to get, the 62 home runs at least. And think about the MLB single season home run leaderboard. Barry Bonds in 2001 hit 73. Mark McGwire 70 in 1998. Sammy Sosa 66 in 98. Mark McGwire hit 65 in 99. Sammy Sosa
we still count
in 2001.
Mark and Sammy's?
You have to. I mean, you can take all the steroids you want. You still got to be able to. You still got to be able to hit baseball.
Speaking of that, Barry Bonds just got inducted to the Pittsburgh Pirates Hall of Fame.
Sure did.
So I think, listen, they need to reset that clock and put him in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know that's a different topic.
I
know that's a different topic, but
yeah,
like you said, hey, you can take all the juice you want.
Still got to be able to hit it.
Still got to hit the ball.
Yep. Shohei Ohtani, on the other hand, makes MLB history with the unprecedented 43-43 season. I know you guys are like, what is a 43-43 season? Well, here it is. It's a homer and stolen base record. So you get 43 home runs, 43 stolen bases in a single season. So Alex Rodriguez was previously the only player to reach 42 and 42 in the season.
Another steroid alligator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, this guy can't even speak English, and I believe that he needed to have a season like this.
Yeah.
With the
allegations and all that.
Oh man,
yeah.
Listen.
Sports betting.
And it just like, have you heard about it? Has anybody talked anything about it?
Nope, not even.
No, it's just like, oh nah. The assistant took the fall.
Sure did.
That's a big knife to fall on, though. But he needed this, and I'm glad that this is working out. I just hope, as a Dodger fan, we can get this World Series. If we don't, the manager got to go.
And these two guys, I feel like Aaron Judge will win AL, MVP, and Shohei Ohtani will win NL MVP.
See the ticket? The guy sold his ticket. He had like an 18-leg parlay, and the last leg of the parlay is Shohei Ohtani to win MVP. But I've seen where people are saying that Lindora, because he plays offense and offensive defense.
Nah, man, Shohei's gonna win this.
Yeah, he is. But the dude sold his ticket, $70,000 that he projected to win, but he sold it for $40,000.
Oh, yeah, easy. I would have sold mine too.
I would have waited.
Really?
I'm 43 and 43. Nobody's not talking about the Mets. We're not here talking about Lindora and the Mets. Talking about the Dodgers.
Oh man.
You lost 30 million. You lost 30 grand.
Michigan head coach Sharon Moore still not under contract 7 months after his promotion. So Sharon Moore is scheduled. He's making his debut right now, actually, as a head coach of Michigan Wolverines. And 7 months after, he still hasn't signed his contract. Is this a deal for Sharon Moore or more for Michigan? So it was reported at the time that Michigan would give a 5-year contract paying him $6 million per year, which would make him more of on the lower tier of college football coaches. I think Ohio State's Ryan Day, he received $4.5 million per year. Without a contract in place, Moore in Michigan reportedly working under an MOU, which is a memorandum of understanding.
We understand that the check is going to be in the mail.
Yeah.
But we don't know how much that check is going to be.
So the memorandum is reportedly including had a deadline of April, and the deadline is passed. So is the memorandum of still, intact?
So why is he still at work?
So my thought on this, and I read more, I did a little research and read more into it. There's only one coach on the staff that's currently under contract. However, you have Michigan that is going through all of these allegations. And if Sharon Moore signs that contract, he's now bound to these allegations.
Yeah. Oh, so he's getting the bag under the table. Because
you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Listen, brother, we don't work for free. Listen.
Yeah, I feel like it's the memorandum is all right, gentleman's agreement. All right, we're gonna pay you this. But he's not bound to anything. But the thing about it is, and the reason you sign these contracts from a coach's standpoint is if you sign a 4-year deal, unless they buy you out, you are there for guaranteed 4 years. For a college standpoint, if you have this coach sign this contract, he's guaranteed to be here. If he's doing well, other coaches, the NFL may come knocking, and without a contract, he can, okay, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out. Yeah, there's nothing obligating me. There's nothing that's keeping me here or whatever.
Yeah. So I think it's mutual understanding for both parties.
Hey, man, listen, if you can find a loophole, find a loophole. Like, don't sign a contract and get suspended. That's nice. I like that. But I wonder how he files taxes.
Hey, I'm getting paid $2.
$2. Yeah.
All right, Jason Tatum, he speaks out finally about his Olympic benching. So one of the biggest storylines from the USA team during this year's Olympics was Jason Tatum's minutes. So Jason Tatum spoke out early this week with Jerry Weiss of The Athletic. He said, it was a lot. In the age of social media, you see everything, Tatum said. You see all the tweets, all the people on the podcast, all the people on TV giving their opinion on whether they thought it was a good decision or it was an outrageous decision or whatever. He said, obviously, I wanted to contribute more, and I've never been in this situation. I wasn't moping around. He said, I didn't have an attitude. I wasn't angry at the world. Tatum also said, I stayed ready and did what was asked of me, and I won a gold medal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should he be mad?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I heard reports about how they were saying that I've seen blogs where they said that Steve Kerr really doesn't know how to coach. Like, he just couldn't handle the magnitude of the players. But
the championships? And he don't know how to coach?
I mean, you get Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. You know, I don't know. I share a little story. Back in our younger days, played for this AAU team. I think his name was John. Remember John had a father, dark-skinned guy, coach, whatever. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So mom used to drive me all the way out east every day for these games.
We're not gonna have to put a disclaimer up on this, are you?
No. Dude did not play me. I'm sitting over here, man, but he's playing his son. He's like, yeah, you know, it just didn't work out today. Gave these questions, whatever. So I put a little mental note. I was like, okay. When we got older and I played against John and his dad was there, gave him buckets. I probably had 60. We was at Pembroke Hill, one of these high schools AAU tournaments. I lit him. Disclaimer, his boop boop. I lit him up. And I looked at his dad and he was like, and just kind of looked at him. I was like, yeah, you get that nepotism, giving your son all that PT or whatever. My point is, you didn't play Jason Tatum. He heard the noise. He's a champion, NBA champion.
Yeah.
Then you didn't put his boy on, Jaylen Brown, for whatever political reasons. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
That's like me when I always say Pat Mahomes not nothing. You know, why would you stir that up?
Yeah, guys remember. And you get these profound athletes. And you can even look, you talked about youth league. What was you, 12?
Somewhere around that age.
Yeah. Kids.
I'll never forget.
They remember, like competitive people remember when it comes to athletics. Like it's just one of those things that it's like etched in your brain to where we talked, we heard Jordan talk about different things, right? Like, you know, he wrote it down. Like I remember we hear I think LeBron came out and said, you know, how he used, because the question was asked, you know, how do you use things for teams that you just can't get up for, right? Like you in a game but you really just like, man, I really ain't feeling it today. 82 games in the season. You always gonna have one of those days where like I just ain't feeling. He was like, I would go out in the arena pregame and look up and see, you know, some guy that has a sign, just for instance, has a sign in the rafters that says F you LeBron.
Yeah.
He's like, and I'm going to use that as motivation to get me up for the game.
Of course.
So kids and guys remember that. Oh, well, you're on the bench this game. Oh, okay. Well, next game, remember you put me on the bench, coach, and watch what I do next game.
So think about this for the people out here who are not athletes. You get up, you get ready for work, take a shower, you almost do the same thing every day. You go in the office, you get the same check. That is the same for athletes. You have a schedule every day.
Yeah.
It was this, and this, whatever. And then going to practice every day, running the same plays, the same thing. You know that this guy is going to come off this screen and shoot this jumper. You know that he goes right, whatever. And it's just you get into the emotions, because why would you go that hard in practice, right? But listen, certain players, you know, you just think like, oh man, this dude, he whooped me in Monopoly last night, so I'm gonna get him. You have to use that or whatever to get yourself out of it or whatever, and it's a good thing. But you know, if you Kobe, it's every game. LeBron just picks a few games.
On that note, we're gonna take a quick break. Coming up, we got our Hater I Love It segment. We'll be right back. This is the W Show.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at KCWeSpin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Your loved ones matter the most. Take the burden away by pre-planning personal arrangements that fit you and your family perfectly. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services will be here to comfort your family and take special requests. Plan and feel confident your loved ones will be less stressed and can console each other in their time of need. We will be here when you need us at 816-231-GATE or visit kcgoldengate.com. exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasonings to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors. Classic, sweet, mild, and hot. Find it at your local grocer, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com to purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to use the hashtag talk about it, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want. We have a talk about it today, Mike. Yeah, we do. We have Brad B on X sent us a story, and I had to look it up. It says that 2 in 5 sports fans admit that they're superstitious. So research into 2,000 people who watch sports revealed that 25% will carry out unusual rituals ahead of a game to help improve their luck for a good result. So one of these, when watching, I guess, is 23% must sit in the same part of the sofa for any game, while 24% will kiss the badge of their beloved club or team.
Listen, you know what I know about luck? It is unlucky to be down at the end of the game. That's what I know about luck.
And it said, he also sent the top rituals for sports fans have done ahead of a crunch match. So kiss the badge or emblem of your team. Refuse to wash for the duration of a tournament. Sat in the same lucky spot to watch from home. Avoided watching an event with the specific unlucky people. Sat in the same lucky seat when watching from the stadium or venue. Refused to wash your lucky item of clothing for the duration of a tournament. Put on specific sports shirt or jersey. Put a lucky pair of socks on. Said a prayer. Eating the same pre-match meal. Put on your lucky bet. Watch the event of a specific lucky people, sang a specific chant, or worn your own lucky number. And then he asked, do you guys have any rituals from when you were a player or just a fan?
No. No. I mean, like, in the moment of the game, if something happens, then I kind of get into that mode like, oh, this happened because of this, and I try to, do that again or whatever. But that's just all in spirit of the moment. But I guess when I was in college, I had a ritual, but you need that to keep consistency or whatever what you're doing. Like I used to get the same food, sit in the same place. I used to listen to Usher for some reason.
Usher, what song? Wait.
Dun 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 dun. Look at me. It was 80701, and it was the Confession album. I used to listen to that. I used to get me high. I used to sit by myself and listen to that or whatever.
Okay.
I mean, everybody has their thing, whatever, but not washing your clothes. Come on now, man.
I mean, you hear people talk about not washing their under, like these are my lucky underwear. I can't remember what Chiefs player said it. Was it Pat? I think Mahomes said he has some like lucky underwear that he hasn't washed.
But you lost some games. Do you go through a whole nother stint of like clean underwear and you don't change them until you lose, or do you just keep wearing them because then the luck is gone?
Yeah, for sure. Once you lose a game, then you have to. I mean, we saw guys that don't shave until they lose, things like that.
Butt itchy though when you over there with them drawers on like that, trying to run with them spandex on.
I don't think I had like you talked about. It was like a ritual. Things that you just do on a regular basis. To keep the norm. I don't feel like I had an actual ritual. I believe I probably did one. Chiefs AFC Championship before they 2019 maybe was like, hey, we're gonna do the same thing that we did before the game when they won the divisional round.
So
and
what
went to
was
the AFC
that?
Championship. It was parking lot, we do the pregame tailgate with Gates. It's like we're gonna do this, have the same people there, do the same thing, walk into the stadium same time, wear the same. Like I didn't wear the same thing, but it's like if you weren't at the game, don't go.
Okay.
Go back home, go back to watch wherever, and we saw what happened. They won.
Yeah. So just want to let you guys know, if there's a divisional game, whatever ritual he has, I'm showing up. I wasn't there last year. Yeah, I'm showing up. But if they make it to the Super Bowl, I may not go.
Darius responded on our social media feed on YouTube Live. He said, "I'm superstitious. Same seat when I'm at the crib with the lucky shirt under the jersey at the game at the game equals 4 Super Bowl appearances." See, it works, man. I'm telling you. Don't knock it until you try it.
Yo, where was this ritual 50 years ago when you guys was losing to the Colts?
We wasn't alive then, man.
Yeah, I was.
Let's get to our hated and loving segment.
Losing.
Hate it.
It's that time for Love It or Hate It.
Hate it.
If we love it, we talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
All right, so first up our sneakers of the week. These are pretty dope this week, man. I
put some effort into it this week.
You can only go with what's being released. You have the Air Jordan 17 low UNC. See, nope. I don't like these because I want the actual 17s. Now, the cool thing about the 17s is this is the first, sneaker that came out with a suitcase. Yep. If you can remember. So they allowed you to get the suitcase with these. Those? I didn't get these. I had the high tops of these.
Yeah, okay.
The regulars, not these, but I had the regular with the little strap thing that covered the shoe.
Yeah.
You have the Nike the Giannis Freak 6 Najas.
Nah, I'm cool.
No, I like the Volt Green on the swoosh. All right, now you have the Alexis Sablon Nike SB Dunk Low.
Yep.
Like these?
Yeah, snakeskin. Yeah, I love
those.
Yeah.
All right, Air Jordan 3 Cement Grays.
Nah, I'm all right.
You don't like these?
I'm not paying $250 for them.
They're not $250?
$225?
Somewhere around there.
Not doing it.
All right. Next up, Chipotle teams up with Ohio State to support student athletes. Hate it or love it?
I don't even care because Chipotle food is getting horrible. Sorry.
All right, so Chipotle Mexican Grill has announced the first of its kind partnership with Ohio State University for the 2024-25 school year, which every scholarship and walk-on student athlete will receive a customized card good for 1 free entree per week during their respective athletic seasons. So this amounts to approximately 1,000 student athletes. So you don't love that?
Nah, because you know why I don't love it? Because I know what Chipotle does. They're going to come in with that voucher, and they're going to do this with the scoop, and then move all the meat, and then scoop it and look at you and be like, you didn't pay for it anyways. Next, do you want corn? Like, that's what I feel. They're going to get this much portion.
So Ohio State is one of the top universities that is top 5. It's number 4 out of 5 universities that consume the most Chipotle, according to a company. They put out a video, Ohio State did, with Chipotle. Let's check it out.
The is real. When you get here, you start to see it. The first chance to prove it. The last chance to leave your mark. The is a standard in everything you do, including what you eat. It has to be real. There are no shortcuts to the. So every time you step onto the field, make them see it. The Ohio State Buckeyes.
All right, enough of that. You still not loving that?
No. I'm surprised I saw Marvin Harrison Jr. in that because, he had all that situation going with his image and likeness or whatever. But no, what does the Ohio State have to do with the Chipotle that gives me the smallest amount of portions ever? Come on.
All right, another food topic. So Wendy's, they partnered with SpongeBob SquarePants for a Krabby Patty meal. Hate it or love it?
The SpongeBob looks like the cheese on the crab thing or whatever,
So Wendy's is reportedly coming out with its own Krabby Patty burger, an iconic item from a beloved Nickelodeon cartoon, SpongeBob SquarePants. So a memo was leaked online earlier this week that sparked everything, and it's supposed to come out October 25th.
Well, is it going to be part of the $5 biggie bag?
I don't know.
I don't want
maybe. All right. Next up, we talked about Shohei Ohtani earlier this week. So fans lined up hours for Shohei Ohtani's bobblehead. So Los Angeles Dodgers fans lined up 10 hours before the 7:10 start on Wednesday to get the limited edition bobblehead.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
It is, man. Look at that. Woo.
And then, not only that, it was 40,000 of these released. So you had 1,000 of them that were a golden bobblehead.
Wonder what the resale value is.
Right now, earlier this week, they were going for 17,000 on eBay. So that being said, what's the earliest or how many hours would you wait to get one of these bobbleheads?
The earliest that I can actually wait. like whatever time is the time that I can be the first one, the fifth one to get one, I'm there. 17 G's and I just waited in line 10 hours? Yo,
that's what the gold bobblehead is going for?
Do the math.
I mean, what's the longest you've waited in line for something?
Nothing.
Really? I've waited maybe 5 or 6 hours for some J's.
I mean, to get something or to get into somewhere that I've already had.
Like whether it's to buy something or whether it's because I mean you had to purchase the ticket, so it's just a free item after you purchase the ticket. But like just for waiting to get something, an item.
Nah, man. If it's meant for me, it's meant for me.
Come on, man.
If I don't get
that's the lame answer.
Nah, listen. If I want to get it, I'll get it. I ain't got to wait in line. But I don't know. I mean, I would have waited for that if I knew it was going to be resale of 17 G's.
But you didn't know, and that's the kicker. You didn't know if you were going to get it.
I think somebody had to know, man.
I mean, it's a different.
Listen, I mean, I don't know. He's an iconic player or whatever, but somebody had to know something or whatever, that it's going to. The buzz came up and people were standing in line, so they were probably like, yo, everybody wants this. I'm glad we got it.
Yeah.
So.
All right. We appreciate everyone who joined in on today's show. Another great show today. Remember, use hashtag talk about it. We'll talk about whatever topic you want. Until next week, we are out of here.
Go Ravens.
The views and opinions expressed on the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, 1 Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundation, or affiliates.